Hi there, Claire Downham here, in disguise, because I'm wearing my glasses, with another step from stress to inner peace. I've decided I want to see the time of the video ticking down, and I can't see it normally without my glasses, and to be able to read your comments, which I also can't see without my glasses on. Anyway, so this morning I'm going to talk about earworms. So if you don't know what an earworm is, and interestingly, actually, my fiance hails from South Africa, well, Zimbabwe, via South Africa, via Tenerife to the UK. And he didn't know, he says lots of people, it's not a thing in South Africa, an earworm. It's not a thing that people know about. So I don't know if it's a British thing or a Yorkshire thing. Tell me in the comments if you understand what an earworm is. Anyway, I'm going to tell you so we can have the rest of the conversation. An earworm is when you have a song kind of stuck in your head, going around and around, and all through a day it can just literally pop into your head, and you find yourself humming it at random when perhaps you don't want to be humming it. So for me at the moment, this is scandalous because it's only October, you may have noticed, but I keep getting flipping jingle bells in my head, and I have no idea why. I think my daughter might have actually, Sophie Downham, might be your fault. I think she might have hummed it or something a little while ago, because I know Christmas likes to start back end of September these days, but it doesn't appear to be Christmas music in the shops yet. Thank God, because that can drive you crackers, can't it? So yeah, I've had that. It keeps kind of, and it just keeps popping. It pops into your head sometimes, doesn't it? And you really can't get rid of it. It can get really like it's amusing, isn't it? But it can be a little bit frustrating when that keeps coming around and around your head. But the interesting thing is that must be a thought. There must be thought process going on for that song to just pop into your head. I'm interested to read Charlie Beswick saying that Dr. Earthworm. There is a song, Dr. Earthworm. Well, that has to be looked up. I'm going on YouTube after this video to find that song. I didn't know that was a thing. Absolutely. That's so funny. Synchronicities, they're magical. So when we have a song in our head, it's our brain. Our brain is randomly has hooked into something about that tune, and it keeps popping into our heads over and over again. And what we usually do then is we hum it, don't we? And the people around us are like, oh my God, that song again. Are you really humming that again? You've been doing that all day. And good morning, Claire. And we just keep doing it, and we're doing it almost without knowing that we're doing it, don't we? That just humming that song over and over again at the annoyance of many people around us. And my daughter goes mad with me because I invariably don't know any more than, so if I start singing the words, I don't know any more than like the chorus or the first couple of lines of the song, and I end up going blah 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 for the rest of the song. And she goes mad because she's like musical theatre and very serious about music, so I get into bother. Anyway, so why am I talking about earthworms on a Thursday morning? Earthworms, earworms, not earthworms. I'm going to look back at this and laugh. I know I am. I hope you're all laughing with me. So why am I talking about earworms? Well, we tend not to take them too seriously, don't we? Like, they can be a little bit annoying and they can annoy the people around us a little bit, but mostly we just laugh because we've got this, oh no, I've got that song stuck in my head. Where have I got that from? When did I hear that this morning? A little conversation with ourselves, don't I? But we don't do the same with some of our thoughts, do we? We take those much more seriously. And what if your thoughts are really just earworms? Like, they're just popping into your head. Did you know that about 90-something% of your thoughts every day are repeated from the day before and the day before that? We tend to have the same things going around in our heads. The thing is, if you've got some thinking that is fearful, if you've decided there's something bad going to happen in the future and you're starting to get worried about it, then those repetitive thoughts about that thing can seem really real. Why do we not treat those thoughts with the same mild amusement and contempt as we do those earworms. Why is it that if you're struggling with stress and anxiety, you are tending to make up things about the world around you, make up things about the future, and then get hooked into the truth of them? This is the only moment that exists. And then when I finish with this moment, there'll be this moment that I'm now in. That's all that actually is. That's all that exists. Anything that keeps popping into your head about a fearful thought about the future, worrying thought, any overthinking, it's not real. It's just popping into your head. Our thoughts are generated quite randomly, probably more randomly than you realize. So why is it we don't take an earworm seriously, but we take that thinking really, really seriously? I guess I don't really know why, but it's worth just connecting those two things together. The earworm, random, funny, ha, annoying my family, that thought about a meeting I've got coming up with my boss feels very real. I've thought about it every day for the last 5 days. It feels really, really real. But why is that any different to that earworm that keeps popping into your head that's jingle bells? Well, it has no greater value, really, than jingle bells or any other. Lots of other earworms are available. It has no different. It is no different. Energetically, it is no different. It's just we tend to believe the things we make up about the future. We tend to get hooked into them. And with the earworm, you kind of just laugh about it. You might be a little bit like, oh, it's getting a bit frustrating now. I keep singing this song over and over again. But you tend not to feel the need to overanalyze it or work out where it's coming from or where deeply where the source of it was. But we don't do that with our thinking, do we? Like if you've got a fearful thought and you think something's going to happen or go wrong, and that creates some difficult feeling within you, if that makes you feel anxious and stressed and overwhelmed, then people tend to need to go and try and work out where that's coming from. Well, it's coming from some random thought generating neurological pathway in your brain, or if you prefer to think about it energetically, it's coming from an energy that connects us all and surrounds us all, a universe or whatever else you want to call that. That's it. It's no more complicated than that. In fact, it's probably less complicated than the earworm or of a similar level of complication. Thoughts pop into our heads at random. That's happening all day, every day. And as I've already said, about 90% of those thoughts are repetitive, same old things from the day before and the day before that. You don't need to do anything about that. Just knowing that those thoughts are created from within you and that they are not telling you anything real about the outside world, particularly if they're thoughts about the future or the past. That you can choose. You can choose to decide. If you're not feeling good, then know that you've got some thinking that's gone off. That it's not okay. That's what your feelings are telling you. They're telling you that you're having some random thinking that's not making you feel nice. That's all. And imagine if you could treat those thoughts that right now seem so serious and seem to be telling you the truth about the future. Imagine if you could treat those thoughts with the same contempt, I suppose, as you might treat an earworm. Oh dear, there's that silly thought in my head again. For some reason, my mind has got a bit hooked into that, but it's okay. If you leave it alone, guess what happens? It passes. Our minds are like sky, like clear blue sky, always there, always fine, always okay. And the thoughts are like clouds. If we let them, they will just pass across our minds. When we hang on to them and poke them and prod them and try and change them and try and do the whys and the wherefores of them, we end up with a massive storm cloud that blocks out that blue sky for a lot longer. It's still always there. The blue sky's always there. Now I've got Mr. Blue Skies in my head because we're talking about earworms, so I'm going to be humming all sorts all day today, I think. But I'm definitely going to look Dr. Earworm, as somebody else suggested. So you don't need to do anything. It's just about understanding this human operating system that you've probably misunderstood for many, many, many years, like many of us have. My job really is to just guide you towards that sense of understanding your own operating system. That's what I see my role as, that guide. That's it. And sometimes we all just need a guide, don't we? We need somebody to just point us in the right direction, point us to a new way of looking at something, point us towards transformation from just understanding how you're working. So today I invite you not to have earworms, because it can be really annoying. And if you're humming songs around your colleagues or your family, you might drive them mad. But I invite you to notice, just awareness. That's all we can do, really, that is of benefit. It's just to be aware. Can you just lessen the energy of that thought that's telling you some scary stuff about the future? Can you just see it like an earworm? It's just an annoying, repetitive thing that keeps popping into your head. It's just a thought. And you don't have to believe it or do anything about it or take action right now to try and resolve it before it even happens, when it's not going to happen anyway. So just be present and just treat your fearful, scary thoughts that are making anxiety and stress part of your everyday life. Just give them a different energy. They're just earworms. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Claire with today's Step from Stress to Inner Peace. Have an absolutely beautiful day. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.